This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Missy Kohler. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. This segment of the news is brought to you by Silver State Health, bringing quality medical and psychiatric care to Pahrump. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Thank you for tuning in to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Missy Kohler, and today is October 29th.
Well, this morning at approximately 9:40, the Clark County Fire Department responded to a report of a plane crash near Raven Avenue and Henson Street in Las Vegas. Reports from the first arriving law enforcement personnel were that the plane did catch fire and later exploded. No one was seen exiting the plane. The plane was a twin-engine 1974 Cessna 310R that took off from North Las Vegas Airport about 9:29 a.m. with 2 people on board. The aircraft was airborne for 9 minutes prior to the accident. The plane fire did extend to the nearby trailer. Clark County Fire Department mounted at first the attack on the aircraft and an exposed building, which appeared to be a construction trailer. The fire was knocked down at 10:09 a.m. 2 people have been confirmed deceased as a result of this crash. The FAA is on scene conducting the investigation. Preliminary details indicate that the plane was bound for Gillespie Field Airport in San Diego. The names of the occupants have not been disclosed at this time.
1 person was taken by air transport and 1 self-transported to medical facilities following a crash on Pahrump's south side.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, and Nevada Highway Patrol responded to a single vehicle accident that occurred on Hafen Ranch Road and Thorn Drive. 1 person was transported via Mercy Air to a trauma center in Las Vegas with injuries sustained as a result of the accident. That person was also said to be mechanically entrapped in the vehicle. 1 other person was checked out on scene by medics and then was driven to Desert View Hospital with injuries as a result of the crash. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies are investigating the cause. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue. Well, calls of a nude woman walking outside leads to an alleged indecent exposure arrest.
On October 16th at approximately 10:23 a.m., deputies were dispatched in reference to a naked female walking down a sidewalk. Upon making contact with the reporting party, deputies observed a female walk out of a residence fully nude and stand in the driveway. The deputy recognized the woman from prior law enforcement contact as Heather Drulow. There were several witnesses to the incident that stated that prior to deputies' arrival, Drulow had allegedly walked nude about 6 houses away from her property and then turned and walked back to her residence. One of the witnesses had taken video of the incident prior to law enforcement's arrival. Drulow was placed under arrest for indecent exposure in the first and transported to Nye County Detention Center, where she was booked accordingly.
All right. Well, we will have your News 25 right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by P&P Property Management. Knowledge, experience, communication, and trust. Call Cynthia at 775-727-4444.
A U.S. retailer will be offering rapid COVID antibody testing, and business is rolling along at UPS.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, Kroger just became the first retailer in the U.S. to offer rapid COVID antibody testing. That test, made by Whitmer Medical Company, gives results in just 15 minutes. The supermarket chain has received FDA approval to offer the test at Kroger pharmacies and clinics. Kroger plans to have that test in 35 states by the end of November. Customers in California and Michigan already have access to the antibody test at Kroger stores. Business is rolling right along at UPS. The delivery company reports a surge in home deliveries during the pandemic. The biggest growth at UPS is coming from small and medium-sized companies, along with business in Asia. UPS plans to hire 100,000 holiday helpers. Revenue rose to $21.2 billion compared to $18 billion a year ago.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
Well, for the week ending October 24th, initial claims for unemployment insurance totaled 9,036, up 302 claims, or 3.5% compared to last week's total of 8,734 claims. Through the week ending October 24th, there have been a total of 737,081 initial claims filed in 2020, 715,429 of which have been filed since the week ending March 14th. The Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which provides up to 46 weeks of benefits for the self-employed 1099 contract workers and gig workers, saw 57,783 initial claims filed in the week ending October 24th, an increase of 45,246 claims, or 360.9% from last week's total of 12,537.
Well, a group of like-minded ladies have been getting together in Pahrump to enjoy a glass of wine, talk politics, all while helping a friend in the Nye County Democratic Party. And they came up with a pretty catchy name for their group.
Bitches for Biden. The group came about here in Pahrump because one of our members lost her husband suddenly. During the height of the COVID, he had a stroke. He was in the hospital on a ventilator for 3 weeks, and she was never able to see him the whole time that he was there. After he passed away, she called me one morning and she said, I can't stay in this town anymore. All the Republicans, I feel like I'm not being heard. I feel like I have no one to talk to, so on and so forth and everything. And I said, honey, why don't you come over on Thursday? I'll get a couple of the girls together that all feel the same way. We'll have a couple of glasses of wine and we'll just rage to each other, which we did. And it was wonderful. Next week we did the same thing, and somebody brought somebody else, and somebody brought somebody else, and now we're about 12 strong. We started out 4. We meet every Thursday here at my house at 2 o'clock. Everyone is welcome. If you want to join Bitches for Biden, just find me on Facebook. It's Kathleen O'Connor here in Pahrump, Nevada. And we decided that we need a goal, rather than just sitting around drinking wine and you know, praising Biden and Kamala Harris and saying bad things about you-know-who. So we're working very, very hard, making phone calls, getting people to the polls, so on and so forth and everything. We're working with the Nye County Democratic Party as far as making phone calls, getting people to sign up to vote, to register, taking people who can't get to the polls, and we're also doing texting for the same reason. Yes, of course, we're a Democratic organization, so if you're a man and you're a Democrat and you want to come and join us, absolutely. There's quite a few single women here too, so.
Thanks, Kathleen. Well, the season has changed, but that doesn't mean that you can't continue to plant in your yard. Dr. Q of Star Nursery stopped by and told us what we need to think about when fall planting.
You want to know if it's going to be established before the hot summer again. And actually, that's why it's actually a good thing to plant in the fall, because plants, even though we do get freezing temperatures, I don't think the ground freezes for a very long time or very deep. So the roots continue to grow on plants that are planted in the fall and later time of the year. So what you want to look for is plants that their worst stressful time is in the summer. And those are the ones you should plant in the fall, which is right now is a great time to plant in the fall, so that way their roots can grow all fall, all winter, and all spring, so that they can be well established in the heat of next summer, because that's what attacks most of the plants is the real stressful heat. Now, any deciduous plants that go dormant in the winter because they're safe, they won't freeze in the winter, things like deciduous shade trees, deciduous shrubs, things that lose their leaves naturally in the winter months, those are actually very good to plant right now. What you want to stay away from planting right now are things that do freeze in the winter. Like you want to be real careful of planting things like citrus trees or tropical type plants. Even if they're a little bit sheltered, the temperature can do damage to them in the winter if they have a lot of cold. And those plants are usually best to plant in the spring, because they can take the warmer weather better, but they don't take the cold weather.
Dr. Q suggests covering some plants in the winter to protect them from the elements, even some cactus.
Yeah, we recommend covering them with things like burlap or an insulation blanket, old sheets, old blankets. Just wrap them around them when sub-freezing temperatures are forecast, and then just take the covers off of them during the day when it warms up. There are certain succulents and cactuses that don't take the real cold winter, and they can freeze, even saguaros on the new growth on the tops. So it's best to cover those during the cold weather with burlap or insulation, and then just uncover them when it warms up.
Dr. Q told us that Star Nursery is currently stocking a lot of plants that do very well in cooler weather, including vegetables. So cooler temperatures don't mean you have to stop planting. The professionals at Star Nursery can answer all of your planting and gardening questions.
News 25, more of it coming right up.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, we are introducing a new segment, our Medical Minute. Today we speak to Dr. Michael Taylor.
This Medical Minute is brought to you by Spring Mountain Medical, healthcare the way you always imagined it.
Hi everyone, this is Dr. Mike Taylor from Spring Mountain Medical. Some of you know me as Dr. Taylor, some of you know me as Mike. I've been around the valley for a long time. I'm here today to tell you about our new clinic, Spring Mountain Medical. In this clinic, we have a fully integrated medical care where we offer primary care, pediatric care, rehabilitation, chiropractic care, and massage therapy. This has been a goal of mine for the past 15 years. I'm excited that this has come to pass and that we're here to help you. I'd like to take a minute and talk about the importance of coming to the doctor. Through the COVID-19 process, people have become very scared to come to the doctor. In the office, we take all the precautions needed to ensure your health as well as the health of our staff. We're able to take care of those small little things so that they don't become big. Please come down and see us, and that's our Medical Minute for the week.
Trick-or-treaters will have plenty of scary ways to gather candy this year. The Shadow Mountain players have added an event that will bring out all the ghosts and ghouls this weekend.
We're doing something different this year. We're working on the Hollow drive-through for Halloween. Basically, it's a drive-through. It costs you $3, and the money goes to the Wild West and also to the PDOP and also to the museum. What it is, we say no dualies or big trucks are allowed. But any small car or SUV, anything like that's fine. We do it 2 nights. We do it the 30th and the 31st. We start at 6, and then we kind of end up at 9. And the location of it's on Basin Avenue there. It's 843, but you'll see the cards and the decorations and everything out there in front of it. I don't know how you're going to miss it. And some of the same booths that we use in the Wild West will be set up with new spooks in them. Phone number is 775-209-5853.
Well, that's going to be lots of fun. Well, October 29th is World Stroke Day. We're learning more about how COVID-19 impacts the brain, and evidence suggests the infection may increase risk for suffering from a stroke. Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Shazam Hussain wasn't involved in the research, but says strokes caused by blood clots appear to be impacting a younger population.
It's actually not in classic situations of stroke, but we're actually seeing young people who don't have the traditional risk factors for stroke, like high blood pressure or other problems. These are young, healthy people that are coming in with big strokes.
Regardless of age or COVID-19, Dr. Hussain says stroke symptoms should never be ignored. He reminds us to use the acronym B FAST to recognize stroke symptoms. B stands for trouble with balance. E is eyes and vision problem. F is for droopiness in the face. A is for arm or leg weakness. S stands for trouble with speech. And T is time, to remind us that it's important to call 911 quickly during a stroke. During a stroke, Dr. Hussain says 2 million neurons are lost every minute, so time to treatment matters.
We do have very effective therapies for stroke, but they are time limited. There's a clotbuster medication called TPA, which we can give within 4.5 hours. And there are procedures that we can do to remove clots out of blood vessels, but again, we really want to be doing that within the first 6 to 24 hours after a stroke starts. And the longer that it takes to get treatment, potentially the worse someone can do.
Dr. Hussain says some people might be afraid to come to the emergency room because of COVID-19. However, he says hospitals are taking extra precautions to keep patients safe. If you or a loved one has stroke symptoms, don't delay care. Seek medical attention immediately.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler from KPVM Channel 25 Weather, and we're here on location at 3400 South Highway 160. That's right, it's Rent to Go, and these nice folks, they are hooking us up for our Halloween trunk or treat out on Betty Loop. That's happening Saturday from 5 to 8. They're bringing us a couple of big light-up racks so that we can light up the loop and make it extra safe for our little trunk or treaters out there on Saturday night. So thank you very much, Renee Morales and Rent to Go. You are doing some good things here. This is a great store if you haven't been here. Boy, when I was a little kid, I always thought, I want to be that guy that runs the backhoe. I could come here and get a backhoe and just dig holes in my yard. I'm so excited. I'm reborn. I've discovered this place, Rent to Own. Check them out, 775-727-3710, and they've got all kinds of great stuff here for you. Thanks very much for the hookup on Saturday night, and we'll see you out at Trunk or Treat. We'll tell you about the weather you can expect for trunk or treating this weekend and all that when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, and was on the state in 1929, Black Tuesday, so I'm wearing my money tie in celebration. Also, 6 years earlier than that, Turkey was recognized as a republic, so let me send out a heartfelt gobble gobble. All right, up in Fernley, 67 degrees for a high today. 28 was your low. Out in Fallon, 66 was a high, 24 for a low for you. Carson City got all the way up to 71. Hey, you win the prize. Room temperature, 29 degrees for a low this evening, and boy, that'll be a little bit chilly for you. Tonopah, 66 degrees is the high mark, and the low water mark, 28 degrees for your low tonight. Out in Goldfield, 68 degrees for a high today, 28 for a low. In Beatty, 78 degrees, and 40 for a low. Amargosa, where the wind comes whipping down the plain, 81 degrees, was as hot as it got. 44 for a low, and in Las Vegas, just a shade cooler than that, 79 degrees for a high, 52 for a low. Out in Death Valley, reached all the way to 90. All right, you're up a couple degrees, and 56 for a low. Here locally in the paradise of Pahrump, 75 degrees is our current temperature. We got as high as 78 degrees, and that southwesterly wind felt good at 4 miles per hour. 11% humidity makes it pretty dry. Sunrise this morning at 7:04 a.m. We'll set tonight at 5:50. I'm going to watch that come. Yay, look at that 5:50. Yeah, we gained 6 minutes a night. How about that? 46 degrees will be our low. As we head on towards morning, that northeasterly winds to 5 miles an hour will feel good when the humidity hits 20% in the morning. That morning dew. I don't think we're going to see any clouds, though, but that's all right. Hey, let's take a look as we head on into Halloween weekend. What's the story, Morning Glory? Well, looks like 79, 80, 83 degrees for the next bunch of days. Lows mid-40s. We'll pick up some clouds Sunday and Monday, but no real rain expected. Just, maybe a little break, a little shade. That'll feel pretty good. Out trick-or-treating on Saturday. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to bringing you all the rest of the news. Let's get back to the desk. That's your report. Good night.
Thanks so much, John.
Well, the month is coming to a close really soon, and so is our contest with Simply Divine Salon. Our Project COVID-19 contest closes at the end of the month. So if you've been thinking about nominating a special lady for her makeover, you better do it really quick. Uplift someone, put a smile back on their face. COVID-19 has been bothering us all, and you probably know somebody who could use a little pick-me-up. We're talking about a makeover: hair, manicure, pedicure. Tell us about this person you know that could really use this uplift. Send your nominations to Deanna at KPVM25.TV. And be sure to have your nomination to us in the next couple of days. We're going to be choosing a winner, and we're awfully excited about that. Thanks so much to Simply Divine Salon for working with us. We're going to make somebody happy.
It's going to be so much fun. And so we'll be picking those out next week and let everybody know. We also want to let everybody know that the Halloween event that we're having in Betty Loop is coming along really nicely. I'm so excited about announcement that we had this morning, and you'll see that on our local Pahrump Facebook page. we got a heavy rescue and recovery with a mobile command and ghostly fire engine coming. And so I'm super excited about that.
It's going to be fun.
I even showed like a little video of it, but there's more. And so I'm super excited about that. If you would like to join the trunk or treat, of course, you can go and email sales@qualitysignsnv.com. And that's sales@qualitysignsnv.com to join in the fun, or give us a call, and that's 775-727-9400. It's on Betty Loop, just north of Home Depot. It's going to be on Saturday night from 5 until 8 p.m. We're asking anybody if you'd like to bring a trunk, some candy, or if you even want to buy some bags of candy for the people who are participating, please do so. And on Saturday, that phone number will not be available because we'll be down there. So if you want to get involved, you can definitely do that by calling us all day tomorrow, 775-727-9400. Get involved in the trunk or treat, or you can even come on down. We're going to be there from about 3 o'clock, and we want to thank the Rent to Go once again for that light set that they loaned us for that, because we want to make sure that that area is lit up. And of course, John Kohler is going to be out there with his RV, playing some music, having some fun, and everybody else who's participating, including the Rotary and Boy Scouts and Kiwanis and Quality Signs, of course, and KPVM.
And everybody that's been donating candy, too. We'll still take candy donations, and thanks to everybody who's been bringing candy by. It's going to be so much fun for the kids.
I heard about Snowden Landscape today that donated, and Artesian Cellars, and even Cider Trudeau, so thank you guys so much. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
I'm Missy Golub. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.
Good night.